We begin at 5 o'clock with the breaking news out of Kansas City, where at least one person has died and at least 21 others are hurt after gunfire erupted just as the rally celebrating the Chiefs' Super Bowl win was ending.
Yeah, there's one hospital reporting that they are treating 11 children. Those among those who were hurt. CNN just releasing new video of what sounds like gunfire, followed by the crowd running away. Fans were scattering, but officers instead were running towards the scene. Ambulances, of course, responding. Police at this point say they have arrested 3 people, but aren't sharing any other information about them. They say at this point the shooting appears to be criminal in nature and not terrorism.
And everybody started jumping the rails and pushing everybody over.
I'm angry at what happened today. The people who came to this celebration should expect a safe environment.
As far as the team, the Chiefs are saying all their players, coaches, and staff, as well as families, are safe. Of course, there's much more on this coming up on NBC Nightly News at 5:30. We also have a crew on the way to Kansas City for more coverage tonight on 9 News at 10. In Denver, police say one person has been left with critical injuries after a shooting right outside of the downtown aquarium.
Right now, no suspect information is being released. Police tape is up as police officers start their investigation. However, DPD has not shared any other details about what led up to this shooting. There's a live look right there of the aquarium, well-known spot. Police cars are there. There are some bullet holes in the sign outside the aquarium. We have a crew there also gathering more details. We hope to have more at 9 and 10.
We are seeking to prevent this merger from taking place.
After a year of pondering, Colorado's Attorney General Phil Weiser is stepping in. He wants to stop the merger of King Soopers and Safeway's parent companies in Colorado. And the AG is taking an extra step, trying to punish Kroger and Albertsons, saying that they worked together during the King Soopers strike of 2022. Our 9 News consumer reporter Steve Stager talked with the union president and a retail expert today.
My office filed a lawsuit today in Denver District Court.
Almost a year and a half after the announcement of a merger that would limit supermarket competition in Colorado significantly, Colorado's Attorney General finally announced a decision.
This one hits people in the pocketbook close to where they live in a way they understand.
He's asking a Denver judge to consider a preliminary injunction to stop the merger of Kroger and Albertsons, parent companies of King Soopers and Safeway respectively, saying the merger of those 2 supermarkets with locations often close to each other in Colorado neighborhoods would limit competition. And that in turn would lead to job loss and higher prices.
Post-merger, Kroger would have the ability to raise prices, pinching consumers during a time when consumers are already concerned about the high costs they pay at the grocery store.
In the thick lawsuit, the state also alleges King Soopers and Safeway colluded in 2022 as workers were on the picket lines in front of King Soopers stores. Safeway promising King Soopers it wouldn't poach employees and pharmacy customers who didn't want to cross picket lines.
That again controls the market, which is what we're concerned about.
The president of their union learned about that in the pages of the lawsuit.
And I wish we would have known about it, because we'll never know what kind of concessions we could have got from the employers if we knew that they were working in tandem together.
Kim Cordova with UFCW Local 7 applauded that lawsuit today.
It's not good for the consumer. This merger is not good for anybody in this country except for Wall Street and executives.
In a statement, both Kroger and Albertsons joined together to say that they will fight this lawsuit vigorously and that deal would be good for Colorado consumers. They say the lawsuit is only good for non-union grocery giants like Walmart, Costco, and Amazon, who will grow if King Soopers and Albertsons are not allowed to merge, according to that statement.
Well, they have different views of it, but it will be on hold for quite some time with all this legal wrangling going on right now.
Yeah, you have a lawsuit in Washington State as well. Colorado filed a lawsuit today. I believe it's the first time that we're asking for a preliminary injunction to stop this merger temporarily until everything can get sorted out in the court. So it'll be a little while before they get this all figured out.
A lot at stake. All right, Steve. Right now, Children's Hospital Colorado is facing an anti-discrimination lawsuit over not providing surgeries to transgender patients. Today, the Colorado ACLU filed that lawsuit on behalf of an 18-year-old patient at Children's. It says the hospital violated the Colorado Anti-Discrimination Act when it stopped providing gender-affirming surgeries to transgender patients over 18 years old. The hospital made that decision last July saying that they had to protect the safety of patients and staff due to threats made at other hospitals.
A former Greenwood Village police officer convicted of killing a 17-year-old still faces a civil lawsuit from the victim's family. Adam Holman was found guilty of manslaughter yesterday, but was not convicted on the most serious charge of second-degree murder. The family's lawsuit against him was put on hold during the murder trial. It is expected to resume on Friday. The lawsuit filed by Peyton Blitzstein's family alleges Holman was negligent in the teen's death. It claims the former officer fired 9 times at Blitzstein after accusing him of reckless driving. Blitzstein also had a gun and fired it. Colorado Democrats are proposing a bill that would ban buying, making, and selling assault weapons in the state. The bill would not ban people from owning the guns, which the bill defines as semi-automatic rifles and pistols with large detachable magazines, among other high-powered guns. A similar bill was killed last year. If the legislation passes, anyone who violates the ban would face a $250,000 fine and $500,000 fine for any further violations.
That 200-year-old painting of George Washington that was stolen right here in the metro area last month had been passed down by its current owners for 50 years. That's according to Englewood Police. Police say the painting was stolen out of a storage unit near 33rd and South Elati, possibly on January 10th. Well, now Englewood Police and the FBI are teaming up. They're hoping to find what police are calling Englewood's national treasure. But they're also asking for the public's help to be extra eyes and ears in the community.
If you see something similar at an estate sale or at a pawn shop or even online, you know, our officers and our investigators can't be everywhere. So we really need the community's help in being our eyes and ears out there to see if they see this painting or if they hear anyone talking about this historical artifact that has been stolen.
And Metro Denver's Crime Stoppers is also offering a $2,000 reward. You can remain anonymous. They ask that you submit a tip online or call the number on your screen, 720-913-7867.
A music venue in Denver is canceling concerts for at least 3 months. Today, the Soil Dove Underground in Denver's Lowry neighborhood, under the original Colorado Tavern, announced it's canceling nearly all concerts through at least May. The venue's CEO told us the closure is due to a personal family restructuring and not bankruptcy. According to the venue's website, it has 2 scheduled shows on March 9th that have not yet been canceled. Some major changes could be on the way to a popular swimming destination in Golden. We're used to multiple access points to get in and out of Clear Creek. But this summer, the city is moving forward with plans for more gates like the ones you're looking at. The goal, cut down on the partying there in the summer months. 9 News reporter Evan Krugel is live along the creek with those changes and what they could look like. Evan, popular place.
It sure is, Kim. If you've been down here in the summer months, you know just how busy it can be along the Clear Creek here in Golden. Tonight, we're learning City Council is moving forward with plans to restrict access to certain portions of the creek as they look to cut down on some of those large gatherings. On a crisp winter day, the Clear Creek Trail in Golden remains a popular destination for those looking to enjoy the peace of the river. But access to this water could soon be harder to come by as the City Council looks to cut back on large gatherings that happen here every summer.
What we're doing isn't working.
City Council now moving forward with plans to add fencing and gates at multiple locations along the creek, restricting where people can get in and out.
So I think the city's just trying to come up with the best solution to meet both sets of needs.
Elizabeth Batilla runs Adventure West Tubing and says she's concerned more fencing could make it more dangerous for tubers.
One of the primary concerns with limiting too many access points, especially I want to call them exits, is that when folks get into the creek, especially if it's the beginning of the tubing season at higher water, and they find themselves either in trouble or this is too much for me, I need to get out. We need to make sure that for safety, those folks can get out easily and quickly.
City staff says it's continuing to monitor citizen feedback and says the gates will likely only be closed during peak times on holidays and weekends during the tubing season, ensuring citizens have access to the creek the rest of the year.
We understand the citizens' needs and wants and rights to access their creek that's always been here. But at the same time, the same set of people, the locals, the citizens of Golden, are also asking the city to please take care of the creek and the overusage problem.
And the city is also considering a new system that would require a reservation to use a tube along the creek. That would not go into effect until next summer at the earliest. Tom and Kim.
Evan, as you know, that is a hot spot. If it's sunny and if it's even 70, 60, 50, people are there.
Kim, as you saw, people were in the creek today, so it is an all year round event, but definitely picks up in the summer.
I was going to ask, I thought, was that video from another day? It was today. Okay, confirmed
Nope.
what I was guessing. Thank you, Evan.